My father was an alcoholic. My mother was mentally ill in the form of depression. I was the oldest at 5 years of age of 3 children and a 4th one on the way. I was sleeping with a butcher knife under my pillow because of fear that I had that I hadn't identified yet and wouldn't for years. I was set up through all of this, and at age 12 I was sexually molested by a Catholic priest. He destroyed my trust. He took away my innocence. He distorted my sexuality. At age 15, I was out of control. I was already a convicted felon, on my way to prison, probably. The outcome was the suppression of a lot of anger. I didn't even know I was angry. I didn't respect any authority, not my parents, teachers, police. I didn't respect anybody's property. I became a liar, very good liar. I stole things. I was trying to figure out if I was homosexual because I thought the priest was. Back in those days, we didn't know anything about pedophiles. I didn't have anybody to talk to. And so I was just kind of a lost soul. This is in the 1950s, 1954, when the priest molested me. Not trusting people. I really didn't. I just held it in. I didn't know who to talk to. For all I knew, this was something every kid in the world went through. I didn't know any different. Nobody talked about these things. All the anger that I stuffed as a child collided with all the anger that I experienced in the divorce. A burst of anger directed at God. Well, I already thought that he was a tyrant and was waiting for me to do something wrong. And that just about finished me as far as having a relationship with God from my perspective, because then I started having a fear of death, an unhealthy fear of death, because I was going to have to face him. I didn't trust him, but I believed that, you know, he existed. It wasn't until I went to Fellowship Bible Church and met Philip and heard him preach about grace and teach about grace in a way that I had never heard. Then my perception of God started changing. And that was 5 years ago. And in the last really 2 years, I've kind of fallen in love with God. And Jesus is my big brother. And I'm beginning to understand a little bit about unconditional love and forgiveness and what grace really is. I don't know that I could recommend to them how to get over it. The only thing I can say is none of what happened to me in finding Christ had anything to do with me. It was all about him leading me and directing me, bringing people into my life, circumstances in my life, intervening in ways that really blew my mind, and then eventually putting Philip Wright in my life because he had a heart for people like me. I will say this: you're a victim. I will tell you that Jesus Christ was sexually abused when he was stripped in front of his mother, his brothers, his apostles, his friends, and his enemies, and he was hung on the cross naked. I know we see him on the cross with a cloth around his waist, but it wasn't there. He was abused. He understands your abuse. What he doesn't want you to do is hold it inside and not talk to anybody. You can talk to me. I'll be glad to give my phone number, email address. I'm an open book, very transparent. And I don't care if it's 2 in the afternoon or 2 in the morning. If you want to talk to me, you can. But find somebody. And if you're not a Christian, I urge you to accept Jesus Christ as your Savior, because He's the one that loves you. He's the one that can heal you. He's been with you all along. You just don't know it. But there's people in this church who love you, and they're here for you.